And now I'm going to record this. I am going to broadcast this to our live group, and we've got a couple people in here. So welcome everyone. And then, so what we can do is, so I know a lot of people weren't on here, Nick, when we first opened up. So it's been a little while for me anyway on here. I think Verona might have, but
Yeah,
no, we haven't had a session in a little while. So why don't you get
yeah,
everyone up to speed here, with respect to everything that has happened for you since, what is it, 2 or 3 weeks, and what's happened just by adding on an assistant for you, and how that your assistant is prospering so far, using the system just by you showing and sharing your tactics and scripts with them.
sure. So, for sure, I can share that with you. So I already have an assistant, but I hired another agent. So
Mm-hmm.
what happened was, thanks to Agent Locator and, getting all my other stuff ready with my lead gen and others, pillars, I was able to take the next step, where is now hiring the next agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And hiring and the next agent is a really crucial and pinpoint moment in a business, because you're relying on that person to really want it as bad as you did back in the day. And I was lucky to find that someone just before, like, I actually helped this person get into real estate, so it was actually nice to have someone full circle. You know what I mean? Just
Mm-hmm.
because with the opportunity, as top agents, with the opportunity that we have now, we're changing people's lives, right? And I like to do that stuff, but someone has to also want to work for it. So what happened is, I actually hired a new buyer's agent and listing agent. She's doing really, really well. So her story is, I brought her to I met her, while she was getting her license, because I have a group of people that are getting their license. So I keep them, up to date on the real estate, try to help them out, all that kind of stuff. And then from there, what happened was, she joined our brokerage. I mentored her, but I allowed, I said, go solo, see how it is. She was able to do a couple deals, which is super impressive. So then, after that, you know, um, after that, it's hard, because if you don't have as much leads coming in daily, you get really discouraged, and it's hard because whenever you talk to leads, you're like, oh, this person again, oh, this person, right? So I think, after having a good couple months and then kind of going dry for a bit, I knew that she was the right fit for my team. So I've had her now for 3 weeks. I've official August 1st, so now it's what, the 25th. So 3 weeks from someone who did not want to do real estate as much anymore, to now, in 3 weeks, I've taught her my scripts on Agent Locator. I've mentored her. I've given her more insight on how everything works, and all that kind of stuff. And in 3 weeks, guys, 3 weeks, she has she already did two CMAs, 2 or 3 CMAs, okay, from Agent Locator, and she signed 3 new buyers. Okay, she also just recently signed her first listing on the team in 3 weeks. So that's a list and a buy. She signed 3 new contracts on, like, sign agreements, from showcasing someone that doesn't even know you, showing her the script, showing how the confidence, showing how everything works, to, okay, I'll sign with you before I even meet you. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And like, that is 3 weeks, 21 days. So she's killing it, and I'm super proud of her, and I'm excited to see what she's going to accomplish. I think she'll be better than me. She's the protege, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
she's
And do you
doing.
know on average, like, how many people she's calling a day when she's jumping
She's
into the
calling.
system?
So remember, she just started like 21 days ago, or like 25 days. So she has abundance of leads. So every day she's reaching out to people right now. So she's
Mm-hmm.
probably calling like anywhere between 2 to 4 hours a
Okay.
day now. At the beginning, she's getting everything started, right? So you're not calling as much because you don't have the leads.
Yeah.
But I've upped my budget to, I think, 4 digits now. So now it's just like ready to go. So I'm giving her
Mm-hmm.
actually most of the leads, because I want her to keep going. Because
Mm-hmm.
myself, I have about 1,500 plus. I need
Yeah.
to start focusing on those people, because there's 10, 20 deals there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm focusing on. As anyone who's looking to hire a new agent, like, you need to have abundance of leads. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that is the thing. If you don't have that, then you need to still be solo until you get that.
Yeah. It's to the point where you're like, I'm kind of losing control here.
I
I'm busy and I
lost
can't do
control.
it. And then you're like, I need to duplicate. So that moment when you feel like you need to duplicate yourself is when you need to start considering that. And that's just, general practice. If we start too soon, then you're just basically paying for somebody's leads. Let's put it that way.
Well, that's
You don't
fine
have a
because you'll
full
make
team structure. Some people are fine with that, just working leads. But I think if you're trying to build like a formal team structure, it's really making sure that you've got business that you can give them, and sometimes not just necessarily just the leads. It could be, additional business that you just can't take because you're only one
exactly,
person.
exactly. So that's really, the thing really. And also too, like, you know, if you're gonna just give people leads, don't have them on your team. Just give them a referral fee. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
just have something written with them where any leads come in, it's X amount, whatever you guys work out to, or girls,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if you want to build a lasting team, because I joined a team for almost 3 years, and that's how I got really successful, because you're learning, you're learning how everything works, and all that kind of stuff. So you need someone who's experienced in all the stuff, because as real estate agents, we get thrown into a million crazy situations and things pop
Mm-hmm.
up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you want to build a lasting team, you have to understand that, like, as a team lead, you're not focusing on you anymore. You're now focusing most of your efforts to make that person successful, because
Yeah.
that's when that person's up and running, you can go back to up and running your stuff, and everything is now going to just keep being busy,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
You betcha. And we've got Ron here with a question. I'm going to allow you to talk if that's okay, Ron, instead, if you don't want to. So you can talk and to ask your question if you like. You just got to unmute yourself. You either need to unmute yourself, Ron, or you can ask your question even in the Q&A or the chat, whatever's easiest or most comfortable for you.
I was just clicking, and I don't have a question.
No? Okay. Parissa, do you have a question? Because I see I'll allow you to talk. I'm not sure if you have a question at all. If everyone's just playing around with the system tools.
No.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me? Okay,
absolutely.
that's
Yeah.
great. Yes. I just joined a few weeks ago. I'm with the team, and our team leader decided to go with Agent Locator, and I've been watching all those webinars and everything. But so far, for the last 3 weeks, I had only 2 leads. One of them this unsubscribed it after, and the first one was just browsing. So, and then I was thinking, I called and I said, okay, that's it. I mean, for the last 3 weeks is only 2. Now that gentleman is saying that in 3 weeks he's got so many leads, and I'm saying, how is it? I mean,
Right.
and I'm
You have to keep in mind, though, and I don't mean to interrupt you, you're on a team. The team has a budget of spending. For me, it's only me and my other rep, and I'm spending about $1,000 just in ads, not including everything else, right? So you have to really understand what your team is providing you, and also too, every team is different. I know that most team, which is like 80% of them, is they're going to give you a few leads, and then you have to bring in more leads to provide for the team. And then when you're bringing more leads, that's when the team will give you more access to leads. But everyone's different. I don't know, right? Like, I don't know your team dynamic. I don't know, but like, that could be very one of your things. Also too, in the beginning of August, and a little bit in July at the end, I found that I didn't get a lot of leads. And I think this is just because the restrictions of COVID were down, and everybody went out and did their thing, like book cottages, saw family, weddings, whatever. But I'm seeing a big pushback now.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
You
know what I'm
said
saying?
Nick, you said you're spending $1,000 on advertising,
Yeah,
or
no. So how it works is, on Agent Locator, because as a team, you probably don't know how it works, right? So how it works is, like, you spend X amount that goes to your Google ads. So your Google ads is your non-brand. So hold on, let me go back here. Do you even know how the leads get sent to you? Like, do you
Yes,
know
I
how
do.
that works? Okay,
Yes,
cool.
I do.
So you have a non-branded page where you're spending Google dollars of X amount, and that is going. So if anyone, let's say, you know, your target audience is, let's just say in this example, Whippy, then anything in Whippy would be coming your way that are searching in that area. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it really just depends on how much budget that person is doing and how much leads they're giving you from that budget.
Okay. All right. Yeah, but I think our budget is not that much. So, and then I had a conversation with our team leader, and I said, and they said we have to see how it works. Anyway, so okay. And the other thing, if you guys don't mind me asking the second question, is it better to have a designated neighborhood as better leads, or just all Toronto? Because I thought all Toronto is a wide area, and then you want to come across as someone knowledgeable who knows exactly what she's talking about. But how can I have knowledge about all Toronto? I suggested to go to a specific neighborhood, which I've been active in that neighborhood. So what do you think? What is your intake on that?
So you have to go where you are comfortable and you know the stuff. So right now, if you don't mind me asking, where you located?
I'm in Toronto. I'm downtown
Okay.
Toronto.
Okay, perfect. So if I were you, because how it works is in Toronto, there's districts, right? As you and I know.
Yes.
So I would pick a district, one or two districts, and
Yes.
I would tell my team lead, this is where I want my leads from.
Yes.
Yeah, I would
That's
just pick
what I
like
would
the
do.
downtown, target downtown Toronto. It's really, so the one thing when it comes to your leads is the more targeted and refined you go when it comes to the area. So if you're doing Toronto, that's broad, right? So your cost per click is lower. Now, as soon as you start to refine that, let's say you only want Roncesvalles, Google is now automatically going to charge you more per click because they feel that the audience finding your ad are better qualified, so you should be paying more for that audience that's coming. So you end up getting less leads when you are being more specific as to where you're targeting. The lead quality can be slightly better. And the only reason being is that these people already know where they want to live, right? So they're using a more specific search term to find it. Instead of just being like Toronto condos for sale, they could be doing like Roncesvalles condos for sale, right? So it's an exact community, but the amount of people searching on a community level is far less. So then your cost per lead. So you may see half the amount of leads that you're getting by targeting specific areas. However, your lead quality is slightly higher, but doesn't mean they're going to be transacting any different, any sooner, anything like that.
But keep in mind too, like with online leads, you're gonna get some garbage ones. Like that's just the nature of the beast. So really, really you just want to make sure you have a good budget, because if your budget's low, like it's just hard, right? And you're gonna get more discouraged.
It's
and
a numbers
more,
game, really, at the end of the
Exactly.
day. So the more people you have to call, and as long as you're calling and reaching out and getting really good and comfortable at talking to people, the better your results are going to be. You're going to see more opportunity because there's just more options. You have more opportunity. Whereas if you're getting, 15 leads a month, it's going to take you a while to get to the point where one of those people are transacting. Right. So it's when you're looking at your conversion ratio, it's going to take about 6 to 12 months on average to convert a lead. And if you're looking at 100 leads in your system over the course of a year, you should be able to convert at least 1% of them if you're doing your job of reaching out and staying in contact with them. So if you're only hitting 15 leads a month, it's going to take you a while before you hit that 100 lead mark. Right. And so it's really the more leads you have, the more opportunity you're getting. It's just if you're getting less leads a month, it's just going to take you a little long to get there. And again, it's all based on who comes to traffic, right? It's hit or miss. See, like you get unicorns that register and they're like ready to go. They may have registered elsewhere, but no one's bothered to reach out to them. You're the first person that actually reached out to them and had a conversation. So it's really all depends on who's coming into your website and the conversations you're having to determine where they're at in the process. Some are going to be, 100% just looking. They had no intentions of moving there. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. They were just bored, seeing what's out there. You will have those that do have an intention, but maybe they're waiting until next spring because their kids are in their last year of high school. So they need to finish the school year before they even consider moving. So there's all different scenarios that your leads are going to be in. And it's really having those conversations to determine what that is. So you know how to follow up and educate and guide them through that process.
I agree. Thank you. And then also too, like what I think the best strategy with these leads is for the first 3 months, do a high budget, because you need people to come in. And then once you're busy, then you start lowering the intake of how many people you're having. That's the beauty about doing what we're doing here in Agent Locator, is you can change that, I was gonna say something else, but I think other than that, like that's kind of what you need to do. And remember, like I don't know if you were watching some of my classes, but I think the second last one that we did, or the most recent one, I just chatted with someone and 2 weeks later they bought and they already referred me some business, and they bought for almost $1 million. So it's out there, you know what I mean? And it's just more so of just knowing your scripts and practicing it and making sure you know your product and your inventory. Toronto's a little bit harder right now because unless you're buying like a detached, semi, or attached, not a lot of people want condos unless they live the condo life.
So, and where can I find your videos? Are they also online? I mean, on YouTube?
No, they're on Agent Locator.
Yeah, they'll be on there, but we also do them on our YouTube. So you'll see them on our YouTube channel. Yeah.
Okay, good. Lovely. Thank you guys.
No worries.
Very good. Yeah.
All right, well, I can start dialing into some calls just so people can get some interest in it. Let me just make sure I'm sharing my sound. Okay. Oh wait, I need to blur. Okay. 1 second here. Sorry, guys, 1 more second.
You have reached the voicemail box of Sandy Dean.
Hey, Pat, I hope you're doing well. It's Nick Moretti calling. I just wanted to call just to connect with you to thank you again for coming onto my website on morettirealestate.com. And I just want to make sure you had a great user experience and I was able to send the homes that you're looking for. So if you can update me with what your search criteria is, I'd be happy to be a little bit more efficient and send you the homes that you do want to see rather than you scrolling on endless times. My number is 416-559-5301, and I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care and have a great day. I leave voicemails. I mean, everyone's different. I do get calls back, so it does work for me. Made contact. She's not interested.
I find voicemails is really dependent on your market and where you stand in your market as well, right? So
yeah,
keep in mind that some people get bombarded, and if some people are further out in the process, they won't necessarily feel it, necessary to talk to you just yet. Like if they're, buying next year, they were just 100% looking. They're, you're the bottom of the priority of who they're going to call back.
I totally understand.
But it all depends on market too. So for some of you can always do a split test, right? Where you kind of tag them. I'm going to call this many leads where I don't leave a message and this where I do leave a message. And let's see, over the course of the next 2 weeks of me trying to get a hold of them, how many more I got a hold of when I did leave a message, or how many more did I get a hold of when I didn't leave a message?
Sorry, 1 second. So this is a lead that I actually already have a relationship with. So she just called me randomly.
Okay.
Hey, is Jetinder available?
Yeah, sorry. Should I actually, yep. Could you just give me
Yeah,
5
no worries.
minutes?
I'll give you a shout back in a little bit. It's just Nick Moretti calling. I'm the real estate agent. We've chatted before. So yeah, I'll call back in 10 minutes, okay?
Actually, wait, yeah, sure. Okay,
Okay,
sounds
no
good.
problem.
Thank you. Yep.
So So this person, she actually messaged me regarding a property. So it's not in my area, but we'll see what happens. Hey Arlene, how you doing?
Hello?
I'm good, I'm good.
Good,
This is
how are
actually just
you?
Nick Moretti giving you a shout. How's your morning going? Yeah, it's Nick Moretti
Busy.
calling, the real estate agent. You reached out to me yesterday regarding that you wanted to
Okay.
see station in Pelham.
Okay. Okay. Did we have an appointment?
No.
or
I was just
something?
calling
I
because
don't know.
you actually reached out to me regarding it. So I just wanted to see how I could help you, and because you wanted some more information in that development. So I was just wondering how I could help you out.
Which listing was this? Okay, which listing was this
I
one?
think 14. Sorry, it was. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up now. 1465 Station Road in St. Catharines, basically.
And
Yeah, the
St.
city's
Catharines?
Pelham, but it's right around St. Catharines. I'm sure you've probably
Okay.
been on a lot of websites, right? So.
Yeah, and that's why. Yeah. I have to remember. Was it like
Yeah,
a
it was like
duplex or
it was a
triplex?
newer one. It was
What is
like
it?
sorry, it was just like a townhouse, not townhouse, but like a 3-level newer development.
Okay, so it's not built
I
yet?
think it is. No, it's not built yet. Yeah,
Can you
I'll
send
be
it to
sending.
me
It's
again?
not. I don't think it's built right now. It will. I think it will be built with early next year. I just have to find out because the listing doesn't give me too much
Okay.
information regarding it. It just really has like just the drawings and stuff about it. You know what I mean?
Right. So, okay, so you wouldn't have much information
Yeah,
about it
like
then
I
if
don't
you
like
don't.
I'm pulling up the listing and it hasn't even given me too much information. So I'm gonna call the agent just to figure it out. But I want to, like, how I usually work is, when someone's interested with something, I usually like to connect with them, and I haven't really chatted with you yet. So I just really want to introduce who I was and
Right.
see what you're looking for, and then try to give you that opportunity, right? If you don't mind me, sorry.
Yeah. So,
No, I was just gonna say,
go ahead.
what are you looking for? Are you looking in that St. Catharines area, or are you looking somewhere else? Okay.
I'm looking all over because I'm looking for a
Sure.
good deal. It's for investment, and so I'm looking old,
Sure.
new, whatever, but like
Sure. So when you're
good
saying
deal.
good deal, like before I even go to the good deal, are you looking for so like what's your investment strategy? Is it short or long term hold? Okay, like
No,
long term,
long-term.
7-10 years? Yeah, I
So
understand.
rental.
Yep. Some
Rental.
people keep rentals for 3 years or 4 years, right? That's why I want to ask, like, what is your investment portfolio strategy? Like, what are you looking for?
No. I'm looking to purchase and gain equity, buy another one, and
Okay.
just keep doing that.
Do you have investment properties currently now?
No, I'm
Nice.
trying to
That's
start
exciting. Okay. Well, the reason why I'm saying this is because there's a few things that I want to educate you on, just because I think they're super important to be
Okay.
touched on. So, for example, it sounds like you want to do a long-term hold, which is perfect because that's how you make money anyways, right? The other thing is, depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a detached house, let's say, is your goal to rent out the main and basement floor? Okay.
Yes. If it's this is why I don't mind getting a duplex. It's legally a duplex. I don't want to live in these houses. I have my own house. Not trying- yeah. So yes, if it's a house, it has to have like a basement, and it would be better if it's already a legal basement. I mean, if I'm buying something new and it's worth it for me to buy it, it's okay. Obviously, I know that it's not going to have the basement, and unless I go to the builder and says I want you to finish the basement, but I wouldn't do that anyways. But so that's different. But if I'm finding a house, I preferably. I know I don't want everything to be perfect, because then I want to be able to put my little touch on it and maybe gain some equity in it. But I don't really want something that's really dilapidated either for my first one, down to the stud, because
100%.
I don't have a team of people. I would have to go find people, and it's a busy time. Everybody building a house everywhere.
I totally understand. So thanks for giving me a little bit more insight on that. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The other way too is just like you get a attached, semi, or detached, let's just say, and you rent it out to the whole family. Generally, if you do that, you will probably lose be in the negative cash flow between $100 to $500 depending. But it really just depends on your budget. Have you been pre-approved for a specific amount?
I have been pre-approved for a little bit of money, so this is why I want something really like what the house that I was interested in. How much was it?
$689.
$689.
Yes,
it was
but
brand new. I would love to see that house
But
again.
keep in mind, with this one there, I just have to find a little bit more information, because especially on a new development, I want to know like when the occupancy date is, so when the move-in date, and like what else is going on in that development. You know what I'm saying? Because these are things that are super important to know. The thing about developments and new builds is they charge today's price point, but they're not done for a year or two, right? And we don't know what's going to happen in a year or two. So as an investment, depending on what you're looking for and what you're pre-approved for, when you're saying a lot, are you saying over $1 million or are you saying under $1 million?
Oh no! I said I am pre-approved for very small amounts.
Oh, okay, my apologies. What was the amount, if you don't mind me asking?
Very
just because
small.
I can give you opportunities all day, but I need to tailor it to what you value. I mean, sorry, I just want to make sure that sorry. Can you hear me now?
You're breaking up.
Perfect. Sorry about that. I was just saying that, I just want to make sure I'm tailoring something to your search criteria, and I don't want to show you opportunities that are over budget. So are you pre-approved for less than 5 or 600 or 7? I just need to know so I can guide you.
Oh, no. I am by my bank, by an A lender. I'm only qualified for $350, and I would like to go below that if possible. It's not that I can't buy something more, but because my first one, I really want to have cash flow, and I don't want to. I'm not looking to rent to one person, because I know that it probably it depends on what area it will be. It might not even, one person cannot cover the mortgage, and I don't want that, because some of these areas, it just seems like the mortgages are so low. I live in Whitby. Not mortgages, rent is expensive and you can make money, but some of these other places that I could afford a house to start out, the rents are cheap. I'm looking to buy close to universities, college, or I don't know, maybe it depends.
100%.
I don't know.
So I'm going to be upfront and honest with you.
I
live in Bowmanville, so I'm in the top 1% in Durham region, so I know this market very well. The average price here is $910. So to find something that's $350, especially that's a duplex or something like that you can rent out with a separate entrance, you're not going to find that for $350.
Yeah, with the duplex, if the duplex, I know if it's so obviously not that.
Even non-legal,
like maybe 8 something, 7 something. I don't know.
Okay.
Where are you located?
I'm actually located so my office is in Oshawa, and I live in Bowmanville. Okay,
so how come you have listings in Catherine? You have them all over Ontario?
So I've been sending you listings that's out on the market. Some of them are not my listings. Do you know what I mean? I'm just sending you what's available because I think when you came onto our like my website, I think you've just entered in like a general criteria, and then you're probably searching on the system as well too. So it's going to shoot you what you're looking for. Do you know what I'm saying? But what I can do, like, you know, realistically, like, if you're looking, so, you know, I know that your budget started at 350, but now we're talking about 700-800. Realistically, for 700-800, you can find something. You know what I'm saying? But it would probably, like, you're probably looking in Oshawa, because remember, like, you know, Ajax right now, Pickering's average price is over $1 million. Ajax is in the high 9s. Whitby is in the middle 9s right now. Oshawa is 770 right now, and Clarington, which is Curtis, Bowmanville, Newcastle, and Orono, right? Because that's one community. Those are 860 right now. Average price. Average price means
Orono. I didn't even know Orono had. I didn't even know that Orono had anything there. I've been to Orono. It looks like nothing there.
But like, remember, Orono is going to be more like, you know, rural properties, meaning like you'll have a little bit more space, but you're going to probably be on well and septic. Not on all properties, but on most of them, you probably will, right?
I don't want to be in Orono. I don't think there's any rental. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I think personally, your best bet is to buy in Oshawa, because Oshawa has a lot of inventory right now. Like, we're still low in inventory, but compared to all the other cities in Durham, Oshawa has a lot. I think right now they have 133 listings. And since the average price is 770, 760 in that area, your dollar's going to go much further compared to Whitby, where the average price is 950, compared to Clarington, where the average price is 860. You know what I'm saying? Because as an investor, you want to go where the dollars go, wherever the money is, right? Now, would you consider outside of that, like Port Hope or Cobourg, or is that too far for you?
No, nothing is too far for me, as long as it's the right price. And also, there has to be renters.
Yeah.
I don't want to go buy something in some little small town and there's no renters.
Remember, think about what's going on, and I totally understand. And I'm not going to, like, I've helped a lot of my clients and family members build a lot of wealth. And the reason why I'm still top 1% in the Durham region and why I'm here for 7 years is because I know what I'm doing and I make people money. You know what I mean? So I totally understand. But keep in mind, in these communities, these smaller communities, you know, as an investor, you want to invest in the upcoming communities. Do you know what I mean? Because look at Clarington. 2 years ago, Clarington average price was 60 grand less than Oshawa. 2 years later, now it's almost 100 grand more. So it's just, you know what I mean? Because rent always goes up, right? And it's just trying to figure out what your investment strategy is. So like, obviously you're holding long term. You want to make a little bit of cash flow or break even, right?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
But if you want to do something like that, I think you're probably looking more so in that 8 range plus. Because non-legals is what everyone's looking for right now, because in Oshawa especially, there's so much population density that they need more homes. So they're actually a little bit more lenient, the city of Oshawa, to help other homeowners make their units a duplex. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we need the units right now. We need all the extra support and extra.
But if I'm not living in it, it's different when the owner lives there and you're renting your basement out. But I will not be living in these places.
I understand that. I never said that you were going to live there. I'm just saying, if you're going to rent out the top of the basement.
I'm just asking you, like, you know how when you said that the city is lenient to, you know,
allowing the non-legal to a duplex. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I just want to make sure you're good.
Even if the owner doesn't live there?
Yeah, like, remember, what is a duplex? A duplex is 2 units in one home for the city to see that, right? So a non-legal is basically like, yeah, you have technically 2 units. Like, you can rent the main floor and you can rent the basement, but the basement's non-legal. What non-legal means is, God forbid, if there's a fire or, you know, something like that happens, or let's just say something happens in the house, you know, and it causes an issue for that person, then it's an issue. You know what I mean? Because it's not suitable to have a person in the basement to live down there.
I would be responsible.
You will be responsible, but keep in mind, being non-legal, you're kind of in the gray, because as long as nothing happens and, you know, you're not getting calls from the cities and stuff, then you're good. Like, a lot of people have a lot of non-legals, right? But in the bank size, if you can find a non-legal and create it into a legal unit, 2 units, the bank will give you more money. Do you know what I mean? Because that's an income property for you. And in their eyes, it's 2 units legalized. So the bank will give you more money. So then, you know, in the beginning of this conversation, you said you wanted to buy an investment, let it rise, and take that money out, and then use it to buy another one. That is one of the strategies that you can use. But like that's a little bit more interesting.
Is it hard to make a non-legal legal?
So it's a little tough, especially if you don't know too much. But what I can do is I can help you guide through it. But generally, what we'd have to do is just go through the city of Oshawa, the zoning bylaws. Usually, you just need 6 feet or more. You need window wells, egress windows, and you need like a good fire path safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you have to have a way. If there's a fire, there's a route to get out of the unit. And that's going to involve like a fire marshal to come in, take a quick tour of your house, and just to see how everything goes. But remember, if they start, it's kind of like one of those risky things, because if they see it and it's not legalized, you know, and then you choose not to legalize it, but you rent it, the city now knows a little bit more information. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So really just, and I'm not trying to be intricate or trying to confuse you. I'm just letting you know there's so many different ways of doing it. But what I've helped my clients do is really find one property, like not 2 units, just find one property, either an attached, a semi or detached, and rent it out to one family. Yes, you lose a little bit of cash flow sometimes, but in the long run, you start making a little bit more money because it's the equity that you're looking for. You know what I mean? It's the equity that you're investing for. So when it goes up, you can pull more money out. The cash flow is a bonus. You know what I mean? So generally what will happen is, hey, Nick, well, how can I get more rent? Well, generally, if you get like an attached or semi, those homes have usually higher turnovers because family grow, right? So then when someone leaves, you can always up the rent. So for example, I have an investment property in Ajax. We rent the basement. It's actually non-legal as well too. Never had issues. But we started 5 years ago with $1,000 and now it's up to $1,600. Because every time, since it's a basement apartment, usually tenants stay for 1 year or 2 years, and then you find someone else. So in our case, we had 6 tenants. Every year, one they leave, but I get to raise up the money every year, which is really good. You know what I mean? So like that's what I'm saying. There's so many different investments, and that's why I'm diving a little bit deeper than usual, because I need to make sure what you're looking for and what you're okay and what your risk factor is, and then I can show you what's available. You know what I mean? So
Sounds good.
Okay, cool.
I do know some things. Yeah. I do rent my basement where I live as well.
Nice. So you know a little bit. You know how it
I
works.
know a little bit. I know about the whole window, and you have to have a window, as every town has their own specifications or whatever, and that for the bedrooms and what's required. But I just thought there was something else about, I just never tried to get. I had a permit when I did my basement as well, but I don't think it's I don't think it's the legal duplex. It doesn't have its own meter. It doesn't have to have its own meter
Depending,
for the house.
depending from the city,
I don't know.
Sometimes depending on how old the structure is, you might have something called non-conforming. So what that means is, like, if there's a new rule that changed, but based on the structure of your house, they'll allow certain rules to happen, right? Based on the age and stuff like that, right? So I wouldn't get too worried about the details on that end, just because if you're going to legalize it, you're going to have to go through the city and see it. But how you know if it's a duplex is the city will issue a certificate for the basement, meaning that it's a unit certificate saying that the city recognizes that this is another unit in the basement that's legal. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. So that's what we're looking for, the certificate.
And that becomes a commercial building as well, right?
Commercial, I don't. Yeah,
no.
But I don't know if you want to get into commercial unless you have, like, especially if this is your first one, like investment property. I probably wouldn't go down the commercial line yet.
No, I'm just saying, if it's a legal duplex or triplex, if that now becomes a commercial, is that now considered a commercial? Okay.
No, commercial is 5 or 6 units plus.
Oh, okay. I did see a unit in Central Oshawa that I really liked. I think it was 8 something.
Nice.
But I was trying to figure out the cash flow, and I hate when the building comes packed with. They told you what it was, but I hate when it comes with packed with people in there at a certain price. But now they're paying rent based on what those people bought that place for. But
Exactly.
now the sale price is double. I don't want anybody
Right.
in my building. I want the
Right.
house, like it's my own people with my own rent,
100%.
and fix up. Yeah. But they're all coming with the fully, not even one empty unit, and the cash flow, when you say, oh, you can make this much money, I already figured it out. It was before, because when you look at the property tax, what they were charging, it was good for them, but it's not good for the new buyer, because
Right.
now you're selling the place for so much more money, but your rent is so low.
Right. So there's two ways, right? Like now when you're talking about duplex,
Yeah.
triplex, and those things, there's a few things you need to consider. So remember, let's step back here. So if you assume tenants on low rents, generally the property won't sell as high as if you provided vacant possession. Okay? What vacant possession means is, like, as you and I both know, it means that when closing day comes, if we have vacant possession, that the seller will give notice and kick everyone else. So when we close, we'll have all empty units, so you can charge today rent. However, if you're doing something like that, you are spending top dollar, right? Because now you're getting the other side to do all the hard work. Do you know what I'm saying? So triplexes in Oshawa are selling for over $1 million. You know what I mean? But they'll list low, right? So what they'll do is they'll list low. They'll have certain dates on where
Can you hold
see
on
the
1
property.
minute? Because
Yeah.
I had called. Can you hold on 1 minute?
Yep.
Yeah. Hello? Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, depending on what you like, if you're asking for vacant possession, the investment's always going to be a little bit more pricey. But if you're going to assume tenants and you're going to take them out, that's how you make money. That's like your sweat equity. That's like
Right.
when you buy a house that's not move-in ready and you're doing the finishes. Do you know what
How
I'm
do you
saying?
get these people out?
So that's
is their
where you
bad
have to go, and you have to notice, either you have to do two ways, okay? The most effective way is cash for keys, where you have to pay money to kick them out, okay? And that's going to be a little bit more expensive, but in the long term, you're going to make money, right? And number two is you can file and try to kick people out, right? But that's going to take time and money as well too. That's why
I was learning something about, like, some cities are a little bit more friendlier for landlords than some cities, and some cities they're more for tenants. Some are better for landlords. It's not as hard to get tenants out, bad tenants out, if you need to get bad tenants out. That I don't even know how to research that.
Well, I can help you out with that.
So-
Like, remember, like, I have clients that have duplexes and triplex that I help out and do this stuff, and I also deal with more development as well too, right? Like building homes and such. So like I understand these processes, and that's why I'm diving a little bit deep, trying to figure out what you're looking for, because then I can update the list for you, and I can show you some good properties, right? That's available. But remember, in this limited inventory, there's not much available, and if there are, they're holding offers, and it's going to sell pretty high. Do you know what I mean? So I just want to let you know that, because generally, like a non-legal right now, like in Oshawa, 3-bedroom, 3+1, 2 washrooms, they're selling for at least high 7s, low 8s. Some of them are hitting the 9s. And now imagine if you had a duplex or a triplex, those are selling for over $1 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm just.
That's why I'm looking out. I'm looking here just in case I might find something in Durham region, but I'm also looking in areas that are, like you said, underdeveloped areas where underdeveloped, meaning not as many houses or whatever, or the growth of the people. I don't know. So I'm looking in also London, in Ottawa. I don't know if Ottawa is underdeveloped, but you could find deals there.
Yep.
I'm looking, because if I have to get a property management, then that's better for me anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm looking, and where there's universities where I could maybe do students, if I have a triplex or a duplex close to a university or something, and I could get, I know it's seasonal, but I have plans what I could do when students are not there. So yeah, I'm looking. I'm not just looking in Durham region only, but obviously I live in Whitby. So if I could find, I would love to find something in Whitby. Like I would love to find something in downtown Whitby, like a standalone house for a good price, and maybe it has a basement that I could work on. The basement unfinished. Like I would love, even if it's a bungalow, but just something with a basement where I can fix the basement, and then I could have upstairs and downstairs, and like that would be ideal. Yeah.
So keep in mind,
but
though, like,
I know I probably won't be I won't be able to afford any ideal yet. I need to start, and I just want to find a good property and start, and then go on from there.
I totally understand. But keep in mind too, like, I know that you want to go everywhere, but you have to understand too, like, where you're comfortable, and you need to know the area as well. Like, yeah, you can go to London. I think London is a good upcoming area right now, and prices are going up there a little bit more. That would be a good area for yourself. But like what I do when I buy my investment properties is I need to know the area first. Just because it's cheap there and stuff, that doesn't mean anything to me. It's just like you need to feel comfortable with the area, and you need to know what's going on with the community. Another great opportunity would be in Belleville right now.
Belleville, really?
Belleville.
I had a friend at the house there. I didn't know Belleville was growing. Really?
Well, yeah. Well, think about this. Like, look how big Oshawa and like Clarington is growing already. So what's happening?
True. And Mellbrook, because I just had a friend sold their house in Oshawa for 1.3 million. I moved to Millbrook, and I went to Millbrook 2 days ago, and so Belleville is not very far from there. And I also have
No. Belleville's far. Belleville's like that. So like
2
Millbrook
hours,
is
2 hours.
but Millbrook is like northeast.
Millbrook is 40 minutes, 30 minutes if you speed. Like I got there really quick, but I mean, like Belleville is like 2 hours. I know where Belleville is. I've been to Belleville.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Doesn't matter.
And I'm just trying to educate, right? Like, so please, like that's all I'm trying to do, because I just want to make sure that I give you the right
didn't know
information.
that Belleville was up and coming, though.
100% it is. There's a lot of developers looking there and building lots and stuff like that right now. So it's on the come up. So if you're looking for something like that, especially if you're looking to spend like 7-8, that might be where you want to be. Because remember, like in the GTA, and as you and I both know, the GTA is made up of like a lot of communities, right? Like York region, Peel region, all that. Remember, Durham is the cheapest in value right now compared to everywhere else. So you're gonna find your dollar stretching more further over here or out like other cities outside of this area, because this is the next money pit. You know what I'm saying? So what I can do is, Arlene, is I'll set you up on separate entrances, like detached homes or semis with separate entrances, just so you can see what's out there. And I'll put it from like, $5 to $1 million, just so you can see. And I'll include areas like, Durham. I'll include really Whitby, Oshawa, Clarington. And then I'll show you Port Hope, Coburg, if there's anything out there. And maybe Peterborough, if you want to go there. But Peterborough is pretty like in demand right now. But I'll showcase what's available out there, so at least you can see what's going in-depth information.
I'll do Peterborough because they also have a
to
university
do too, right?
friends
So
out
that's
there
really
as well.
good. So I'll update that list for you, and I can do that. And then if you see anything you like, just let me know. Or if you want to know more about, investments and all those kind of things, we can book a time to just have a chat, and I'd be happy to educate. Okay, cool. Well, Arlene, I appreciate the talk. Thank you so much for not hanging up on me. I really appreciate that. And I hope you have a great day. I'll update that list and I'll send it to you shortly, okay? You too. Thanks, Arlene. Bye.
Thank you. You have a great day too. Bye-bye.
So really, like, that is like how every call goes. Meaning for a lot of people on here that are like, oh, my leads are bad, yada, yada, yada. She was feeding me so much bullshit. Okay. She was feeding me so much bullshit, and she doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about. Because like when she was talking, she was just like not really understanding what she was saying. You know what I mean? And she's a cool person. Like, I'm not discrediting her, but she's in the education stage right now. She wants to move and she wants to get this done. So now it's more about education and how it works.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of us think we know what we're talking about, but really we only know a fraction of what we're talking about. Or, I always kind of go down to the fake it till you make it, and that could be definitely what she was trying to do, to make herself seem like she's a lot more educated and she knows what she's doing and yada yada yada. But
And then
she's
she was like,
definitely
I have
viable.
a high
for sure.
budget, 350. Girl,
Yeah.
what can you buy with 350? And then she's like, oh, well, I mean 7 or 8. I'm like, well, what is it? Like,
yeah.
so I don't even know if she's really pre-approved, to be honest. Because like,
No.
if someone was pre-approved, they would tell you.
She probably hasn't gone to the bank, right? She hasn't gone to the
hasn't.
bank to see what her buying power is. So she is like, you know, probably guesstimating perhaps based on the equity in her home and so on, and like, you know, whatever it is, right? So she's just coming up with a number. So she's not 100% sure on that. So that would definitely be her next course of action, is to really see what her buying power is.
Right.
So that obviously, like, you're not going to look at, you know, $850,000 properties if you can only afford the $350,000 one. And that's going to totally change then where she's looking.
100%. So it's just funny, to be honest with you, because it's just, I don't know. That one was a good call for everyone listening, because I find that that's a lot of what people get sometimes. And, you know, that's the way to open people up, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But like, ask the hard questions. I was asking hard questions. I wasn't diddly daddling. I wasn't like, whatever. I was like, this is what's going on. Like, clearly you don't know what's going on. I guess, should I just do one more call, or are we done for the day?
No,
can I ask you a question? Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you had access to all those information regarding different area of the what do you call the price?
Yeah.
So where did you get that?
Market Watch.
I'm sorry?
Market Watch. I know this in my head.
Yeah.
Because like, as a salesperson, you know, you have to like, okay, I've always been in sales. So in sales, this is what you have to always make sure you know. So your scripts, you need to make sure that you know your stats, so you know your product inside and out, like that, because that is how I get a lot of people. Because if you can, if someone was talking to 3 people and one person didn't know really the stats off the top of their head, one maybe did, but once listing out like numbers right to the T, I'm telling you, you already won the business. So for you, I would look at districts, the areas that you want to be in, the districts. I would look at those districts, like, you know, Toronto CO12, what's the average price there? C11, you know what I mean? And what the condos and then the detached homes are selling for.
Okay, lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, anytime. So I'll just call one more and then call it D.
He either answers or doesn't.
Hey, Richard, how you doing?
Hello.
Nothing much. It's actually just Nick Moretti calling. I just wanted to connect with you just to say thank you again for using my website on MorettiRealEstate.com. And I just want, I really appreciate that. And I just wanted to make sure that, you know, everything was good on your end and you had a great user experience. You know, how is the list of homes that I'm sending you? Did you want me to tailor anything to you?
Yes, I want to go more northwest.
So when you're saying northwest, are we talking about Durham?
Not east. Yeah, like Alliston, Angus.
And Barrie as well too?
Yeah,
like
that area, you know? And Barrie, Barrie. But nothing east, like, you know, all northwest. Okay, guys? All the best to you and your family.
Are you looking for like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms kind of home? Like, what are you looking specifically for?
Just a single bungalow with 2 bedrooms. No stairs. I don't want to go upstairs.
You're too young, okay.
Because I'm too young for that. And a nice garage outside,
so one or
I can have a
like single or double car you'd be happy with, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, but
for sure. Now, if you don't mind me asking, because I don't want to, like, I want to provide value and send you homes that you do want to see. Is there a budget that you want to stay in between? Okay, cool. So what I'll do is I'll add you to that list, and I'll put just the bungalows with the minimum 2 bedrooms and the single garage, like minimum, between 5 and 6. And if you have any questions or you see something you like, just please let me know. I'd be happy to help you out. If that's okay with you, Richard.
Yeah. One more thing. Can you give me the minute numbers for the lottery?
We'll split it. I'll split it with you. You know, I'm not a greedy man. I'll split half. Yeah, you too, Richard.
Anyway,
Have a great day, okay?
Keep safe, huh?
You too.
Have a great day too.
Just like
Bye-bye.
that. Super simple, easy. Ask the right questions, joke around, and it's done.
Mm-hmm. And for those watching that haven't watched before, there's the delay. He's not cutting people off or anything like that. It's he's using his earbuds. So when we're hearing it, it's a little behind the fact of the conversation, just so you guys are aware he's not interrupting or cutting people off on there. But yeah, no, you had two great, conversations, two people answer, you're good to go. And yeah, it's a lot of us overthink it, right? We overthink the process, and we just got to stop overthinking the process and just go for it.
Totally. And I totally agree with you. And remember, like, everyone who's watching this, like, I would set a day, like Keller Williams teaches us, 20 contacts a day. 20 contacts is talking to 20 people about real estate. So like that should be your minimum, because that means like in a week you talk to 100 people. 100 people times 4, which is 4 weeks in a month. That's 400 people. Out of 400, you're going to get at least 4 deals if you do things properly.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's about it.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you, Nick. And thanks everyone for watching us on here. We'll see you again in a couple weeks, I guess now. And yeah, perfect.
Cool. Well, have a great day, everyone. If you guys have any questions, just follow me on Moretti Real Estate or ask me any questions, and I'll be happy to help. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Bye,
Bye,
Nick.
Crystal. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.